Good evening, America. You were the messenger of third line knowledge, and this is a very concerning situation in this country, and I believe I want to share some information with the people. I am asking for the attention of progressive media, especially people in which are outspoken and different. I've gotten a cease and desist letter from the federal level, and what that letter has consisted of, I cannot disclose on social media, or they're going to move in. America, I'm known for the past 5 months, as well as the rest of you, especially with children and families and have frontline workers. If you're in the food service industry, supermarket service industry, um, I think now is the time to be deeply concerned. It's no coincidence that your president is smiling in your face while we have lost 142,000 innocent American lives and 8.2 million Americans have been affected with the sickness, and businesses are shutting doors across the spectrum. Even my place of business where I'm working at, my corporation under Ray Kroc Company, which is known as McDonald's, we have lost a lot of revenue. We're still able to serve the public and we're still able to get a paycheck, but how much longer we do not know. It's rumored in the White House that as soon as they release this stimulus check, there is no tax returns this year. There will be no more assistance from the federal government from here on out, and that's a given. If Washington wanted to take care of the American people, they would have removed him months ago, and they have not. They have been using the excuse of a dire public health and human services disaster, which is known as... That's an excuse. Your government, America, at the federal level does not care, and they are making moves across the spectrum of free speech to shut you the fuck up. It's funny how a lot of my commentary that has been left in email, because I ask that all my viewers and people that are interested in the information remain via email and share my information via email with all your friends and loved ones because of this issue. They have been ripping statuses down, taking down Twitter posts, they've been taking down YouTube videos, and they've been also taking away Instagram imagery in which is against Trump and the Trump administration. Your president has been releasing undercover military operatives across the country to beat, silence, arrest, and jail peaceful protesters and people that are concerned about their country. This isn't a normal government anymore, America, and this is what you need to accept. Your United States government is a fascist mob. They're not telling you where your tax money is going because they're extorting it. Moving in on working class, low income territory and possibly trying to eradicate people to set up big business to make America the #1 corporate giant. Because the history of the Republican Party has been fascist, cronyistic, favoritist, and communist and fascist. These are people that request that Republican Party members and associates do not disclose any information and or political information to any of their residents or anyone in this country. It is strictly private, and you do not know anything. That should be telling America that your democracy hasn't existed in over 200 plus years. Democrats are most likely Republicans, and you don't know that. I don't know that. You don't know if your government is conspiring against us just to succeed with their personal gain and self-interest. This government has stopped at nothing to destabilize consumer society in the working class districts. Concerned about voter states and swing states, but Democratic run states, you can burn, you can die, your children can get sick and die. You are no use in a person of a people of importance to us, is what your government is basically saying to you. The only reason why Trump is okaying this stimulus package, America, and I will say it till I'm dead, to make sure that America is somewhat aware, 4 more years he can turn that entire government around and make it until he's dead, be in charge. That's why they fled England. Now we're England, Russia, China, North Korea. And if you haven't seen it yet, you're one of them. That's the bottom line on some Third Eye Knowledge this evening, America, is to seriously start taking deep concern in your country. They're waving the red, white, and blue in your faces, talking about voting is equal, vote matters and counts. When the only concern at the end of the day in Washington is the donor and the 2% society deciding who runs your country and who doesn't. The person that they want running this country is the person that's going to take care of their society. Trump is turning against anybody that has been speaking as experts on coronavirus because they're fucking with his objectives. His objectives are not to get rid of this, but to let it run its course. Enough of us pass away, the more of them come. If you are still sitting here watching these types of videos and saying to yourself, this person is paranoid, this person isn't educated, this person is ignorant, look past the attire, because I wear it on purpose. This right here is a real person. Don't care about cease and desist. Don't care about YouTube algorithms. Don't care about YouTube guidelines. In my culture, we speak for our families and our communities. And I will tell America right now, this is not what they're saying is going on. There are no contact tracing in this fucking state but Boston. And whatever we had left for coronavirus testing sites, the last one that I've seen is in Lower Roxbury in Boston. We live in a big state. It's supposed to cover Rhode Island and Connecticut too. There's only 3 sites in New England. I'm asking the country to seriously consider turning off your cable television news stations and start getting your own information. Start listening to different media for a change. Because that's the only way you're going to save this country, is if all of us together turn our faces to that fucking cable television screen and say, fuck these people. They're trying to control and fulfill the objectives at the federal level of the Trump administration, as well and as long and as well with the Republican Party. While this country has been telling you how the Republicans try to make it fair and equal, that's not the case. The Republican Party is no different than the Ku Klux Klan. No different than a fascist organization. If you think for a second that these people are out to work with the Democrats and put bipartisan politics aside, that's a lie. And the body count and the infection rate and the amount of homeless families across this country should be enough of a truth for the American people. I ask that you share this in an email for a family and a loved one, and also elders that don't know how to utilize their social media or how to get off of the cable television news networks, and show them this video. This is what's going on in the community, and don't forget it. Nobody's getting ahead. Everybody is dying, losing their homes, losing access to food, healthcare, and other social safety nets that are our civil liberties via the constitutional amendments. We're no longer living in a democracy. We are no longer living in a free country. It's only free to who they consider it to be free for and to. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll be on as soon as more information comes across the desk of Third Eye Knowledge. As always, freedom of press. Peace and love.